All right. It is Sunday night, 7:30-ish. Once again, time for another edition live in the Man Cave. We have All-State Coach, All-State PG. What's going on with y'all, fellas?
Happy Sunday.
Hey, happy Sunday to you, man. I am uh, Coach Barnes, Corey J, and we are Polk Hoops, the three of us. Appreciate y'all tuning in and rocking with us on another Sunday evening as we talk high school sports. We are your, specifically high school basketball. We are your number one source for high school basketball in the state of Florida. Do appreciate y'all support, rocking with us, and supporting us through everything. So, Coach, been a long week, been a long weekend. I don't know if you have anything in your corner. The clock is ticking closer to the official start of things. Things are the season is upon us. So I don't know if you got anything in your corner, but if you do, you got it, sir.
Um, Coach, I'm excited. I'm ready for the season, but I'm gonna really just ask y'all on air what I just sent to you guys in the text message. Um, a statement was made saying point guard should be judged off paint touches. I want to hear y'all opinion
No
on
comment.
that.
I I I don't know about that one. Not I don't know about that one. That's
They don't
that's
even make them type of point guards no more.
uh, even when they made them type of point guards. I don't know if that was. I mean, if you come run offense and you pass and go away, you know what I'm saying, pass, cut away, whatever the case may be. If the ball never hits the paint, I don't. I mean, how is that the PG fault? Or if you run the secondary break up the sideline, um, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I think that's a little that one there a little flawed, but um,
So, what should the point guard in today's game be judged by then,
in today's game, um,
or what stat should be the most relevant? For me, it'd be assist to turnover ratio.
Yeah, I would agree. That's
yeah, I
hard.
mean,
It's so many scoring point guards now.
I would say assist turnover ratio. You taking care of the ball, not giving it to other people. Because the game has changed so much. It's not. I mean, the point guard position is not played the way it was played. You know, when I was coaching, when PG was playing, things have changed a whole lot. So I don't. The only thing that's consistent from then to now is, are you taking care of the ball? Are you valuing the basketball? I think that's universal. So I mean, I agree with you on that. That stat, I think, transcends any era, any PG. Are you taking care of the ball? Are you valuing the ball? Are you getting people involved and getting people shots? And if you're doing that, I think that's probably the biggest or the best indicator of an effective point guard. Um, so, I mean, off of that, I think we got a couple. I think that in the county right now, I think Toby does a good job. His assist turnover ratio. I
Mhm.
think Morel Miles at Victory does a good job with it. Um, the kid at Lakeland, he had a pretty good, solid freshman year in regards to the assist turnover ratio based off the stats. So those three right offhand that that I know did a pretty good job with it last year, and I think this year we may have more um, traditional point guards in the county this year than we've had in years past. I don't think we got as many scoring point guards as we're used to. We got more kind of pass first guys, or not guys that's trying to get 20. So that could improve even more than just those couple guys. That's from what I've seen. I could be off on that from what I've seen. So I Mr. Bell and Mr. Figueroa I wasn't. That was the ones right off the top. But yeah, I mean, you got Vega at Discovery. You got Snead at Armandale, who I think Snead is going to actually have a pretty good season. I think he's very underrated. And he's exactly what I think Armandale needs. They need somebody who can just get people the ball because they got enough guys that can do something with it when they get the ball. So I mean, I'm sure it's more than that, but I do think we're going to have more. I think the kid in Sebring that was at Bartow but is back in Sebring now. I think Hester is a pass first type PG too. So I do think that we will have more of that type of point guard this year than we've had in years past. You know, Livingston was a scorer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the PGs we've had, Tate wasn't a PG, but he was a scorer. So
the Burrell kid will score too.
The who from Barrett that's at Discovery now. Yeah, he's a scorer, you know. So even at Victory when they had Andino and LJ and them, all those guys were scorers, right? So they wasn't really like traditional PGs. They all was kind of combo scoring guards. So I do think that's probably the only way you can measure it nowadays. I think that would be unfair to give all that to a PG if the ball don't touch the paint. That it's the PG fault. That's a tough one. But I get it because the point guard is supposed to be the quarterback. You're supposed to make sure the ball gets where it's supposed to go. But how they play basketball now, coach, they don't play it. Who plays the ball? Who plays basketball coming down with the whole goal to get the ball to the post? Nobody even does that really anymore, right?
Yeah,
especially down here.
Yeah, you know, so.
And I think you got to be open-minded to it. I don't think paint touches mean that you got to be passing to it. You know what I'm saying? Getting dribble penetration and getting into the paint to create for them, I think also is considered a paint touch. For me, it is. And we need those type of kids in order to facilitate for your teammates. Is, you know, a lot of people, you'll see them start the offense and then it just stays outside. But those ones that are getting downhill and creating, you know what I'm saying, I think those are just as effective as throwing it into the paint.
So you think we need to redefine what paint touches?
Yes.
What a paint touch is.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, then, but even with that, so if we redefine what a paint touch, are we saying the point guard is responsible for the dribble driving to the paint or the post entry? Or are we saying if he passes to the wing and the wing, you know, dribbles it off his foot, or the wing takes a bad shot, that becomes on the PG? You know, I mean, I know I'm probably splitting hairs with it, but I guess I think we need to start to look at, and that makes sense with what we define. In today's game, probably more so, you need to redefine paint touches because we don't have traditional posts where they coming down. You even look at Victory, who got the best post player in the county, in MJ, and they don't run stuff for MJ. He just go get it, right? He go get the garbage, he get rebounds, and he just make his own way. But they're not running sets for him. They're not coming down like saying, okay, we clearing outside and we gonna dribble drive post entry from the wing. They're not doing that, and they got the best post in the county. So I guess that's a good way to look at it, to redefine what a a paint touch looks like, because it's not what we're used to in the past. It's not that, and not at least not in Polk County no more. That's a good point. So for you, do you is that what you telling your girls?
Okay. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? Especially, I'm not an advocate of a lot of bad shots, especially like transition threes. If it's there, we allow them to take it, but I'm not a fan of that shot. I think the best percentages off threes is dribble, drive, and kick, post entry, and they get kicked back out and off skip passes. You know what I'm saying? Or running particular sets where we get those good shots. I just don't like, taking bad shots because it can take the air out of you. And especially it puts you in bad position defensively. So we really, really enforce in our offense and in our transition that we try to get downhill and get into the paint to create that space and opportunities for other people.
I mean, I get that. Looking at it that way, because would you say this year right now that y'all have a true PG or y'all about to commit? I know last year y'all had, my niece doing it, but she gone. So would you say then y'all had to convert her to a point because she didn't come in as a PG, she left as a PG. But
yeah,
would you say y'all have one, or is it committee? Like Coach Blicker, shout out to Coach Blicker tapping in. Coach Blicker has a true point guard. He's had a true PG for 4 years. Everybody doesn't have that luxury, right? So, I mean, am I off on that? Everybody, maybe I'm misreading it. But I mean, paint touches. Like I said, I guess redefining what a paint touch is from the traditional thing would be very important for context. And so, as long as the ball touched the paint, that definitely redefines it and makes it a lot more different from when you first sent it. My first thought is paint touch. Somebody posting, you trying to get the ball in the paint, And so for me, I'm like, nah, I think that'd be real tough on the point guard to put that on one person. But I know that LBD got it. Y'all got it.
Got it. We good at the PG position. We got several kids that can play it. Okay. Y'all gonna be surprised who y'all see at the point this year. But we got several kids that can do it, so we're excited about the transition to another point guard this year.
So you become more dangerous when you got to Coach Blicker. And that's kind of where I was going, Coach Blicker. I guess we thinking the same way. When you got multiple people that can do it, when you can spread the floor and anybody can attack the paint, and like you say, ball reversal, circle up, that kind of stuff. That puts a lot of pressure on the defense. But that comes with a lot of trust, right? That, as you know, nowadays, some of these kids go, it's whoever get it first, it's going up. So that's why I'm saying the thing about the whole point guard thing, because of the makeup of a lot of kids nowadays. We coming in the gym, coming on in the game with the team first mentality. Like, if it take us 3-4 times to reverse the ball, to dribble drive, to try to get in the paint before we get a shot, that's what we're going to do, as opposed to, I got it, it's a hot potato, it's kind of going up. And would you say more people are in that frame, or less people?
I wouldn't say, I don't know, Coach. I think people are trying to tailor everything to their personnel, some more than others, but I would probably put my money on more right now, but we'll see as the season starts and go from there.
Okay. And I saw what Frank said earlier, that when Haven would have had 2 states if they had a point guard, when they had Isaac and JP, and that's a very, I know we've discussed that a few times, back when they were in high school, because that one time when they should have beat Columbus was probably when it really showed that they probably needed somebody to make sure they got a good set, at least one good set. And that's hard to put that on, one person. But if you got a floor general, a PG, to make sure we getting the shot we want, whether we make it or not, that was a real tough way for them to lose that one, especially when they played so well and had a great shot at probably that. If you guys there to beat Columbus, that'd probably been the biggest upset in the history, possibly in the history of basketball, like high school basketball.
Yeah, in the state of Florida. Sure.
In the state of Florida, I mean, not trying to maximize and blow it up, but considering what they did at Columbus, if they would have been able to knock them off, I mean, and they had a shot. They had a legitimate shot. So that's very debatable that they would have had a true PG. They could have made that could have made history. But Coach Blicker, they played an outstanding game, man. That's why they played such a good game, and then kind of like we was talking also off the air, but it was about football, about Penn State firing Franklin, and the coach is gonna always get it right, win or lose, no matter what is going on behind the scenes, no matter what is happening, what we know about it, what we don't know about it. The coach is gonna always get the credit and the blame, and so Woodside has gotten a lot of criticism the last couple of years, right? As if he was the same coach that coached that game. Like had them in position.
Only way he can get off the hook for that is actually winning one. They're gonna always bring that up.
That's what I'm saying, Coach. But it's like, okay, and it's football, right? It's football season essentially, right? But I saw this weekend where there were some very strongly opinionated parents critiquing some of the coaching in Polk County as far as football coaches go. And I just always say I would pay for some parents that are so opinionated and so knowledgeable. I would pay money to watch them coach with the knowledge that they have and how good they are at critiquing and criticizing the people that's doing it. You don't even know all the stuff that, like, I didn't know all the stuff that goes into, like, one of the teams that's getting criticized behind the scenes stuff. I mean, I know now, but it's so easy to sit in them stands and criticize and critique and say what what needs to be done and what shouldn't be done. I would love for them to go and do the same thing. Just go through a game week prep, deal with off the court stuff, deal with the school stuff, and then show up and coach. And then call a set, draw it up, and then they come out and break the huddle, and you say, all right, we're going to get 3-4 passes, and then one pass and it's up. And then everybody understands, why you got him shooting the ball? Like, man, I ain't got him shooting the ball. I just would love to see some of those coaches some of those parent coaches just every now and then, just some of y'all that got so much.
You should have honorary coaches in like summer league and some of these fall games and stuff, and let them see how it is to be on the sideline.
I would really love to see I go PC Gridiron, shout out PC Gridiron, man. I'm not surprised because in this day and age, it's all about winning. But like you say, he won't be without a job for long. But lose 3 straight games like that in Northwestern, that was a bad loss. No matter how you shake it at home, that was a bad loss. So, but I mean, and then with the rationale,
$50 million payout. Come on, man. He'll be hired by next season, and they got to pay him $50 million.
And that's the thing, Coach. So how bad had it gotten that y'all willing to get rid of him in the middle of the season and pay him? We're gonna pay you that. We're gonna still pay you the contract. We just don't want you to be our coach. Like that's just. I just wish people, but that would be, that would defeat half the purpose, right? I just wish people could appreciate all that goes into being a coach. before they get on their soapbox or get on this, this social media stuff and just start blasting and just be relentless with it. And then, coach, you human, right? But if you see that and you're coaching that parent's child, how do you separate what you got saying, what you're saying from the child? I mean, and obviously we're supposed to be professionals, right? And that's what we're supposed to do. But you're still human too, right? You still hear, you still see, and you still feel. So what is it that you're supposed to do in that situation?
Coach, and some people are able to ignore it. That's why a lot of coaches are not on social media. They try not to read it and feed into that negativity, which I don't blame them. I try not to myself, but every now and then you probably get frustrated with what's going on, especially when you're losing or your kid's not playing well, and you can easily get emotional, get caught up in social media and respond to those things, and you really can't. My thing is always keep in mind that and be the example that you want for your kids. You try to tell your kids not to engage in that type of behavior. I think you need to keep that in mind before you press in, is that you're setting the example for your kids.
And that's Coach Ampbo. Shout out to Coach Ampbo tapping in. I mean, that's the only two things, right? When you lose, either the ref cheated or the coach don't know what he's doing. It's like there's nothing else but those two things. Why is it that we can't? And we got one of our guests in the dressing room. Gonna bring him out here in a second. But Coach Frank, I don't think we give Coach Woodside enough credit for almost getting that win. Almost don't count in nothing but horseshoes and hand grenades, right? But also that Ponte Verde team was really good too. They didn't pass the eyeball test, Coach, but they was really good, and nobody gave them credit for that because they didn't pass the eyeball test till you got out there and you started. End of the day, you still got to play the game, right? No matter how they look in warm-ups, you still got to play the game, and I just don't think that they gave Ponte Verde enough credit either. And the thing about the playoffs, Coach, it ain't the NBA. I don't have to beat you 4 times. I just got to beat you one time. One time. I just got to be good enough one time. And so that's the whole thing about if they play 9 out of 10 times, okay, that's great. But in a playoff environment situation, it's one game. So if I can put together a great game plan for one game, then you can say what you want to say, right? So anywho, well, we do every week, man, we put out the invitation to a couple coaches to come on and kind of give some preseason insight on their teams and how things are going, how they, give them a chance to kind of speak on the squad and just how the state of basketball at their schools. And sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no. So this week we had 2 that says yes, so we got 1 now. And a lot of people, we hear all the time, well, they're not from Polk County. Well, they are from Polk County as it relates to us. As long as we're doing what we're doing, they'll always be included in what we're doing. Coach Princeton, probably one of the most solid, well-respected guys that you're ever gonna meet, and so we enjoy covering him and his team. And so tonight, first head coach that we got in the ManCave, first time on. I think this might be the first time on the show, right? I don't know. Maybe I think it's the first time that he came on, but we excited to have him hear him talk and talk about his team. So welcome to the show, Coach.
Hey, thank you.
Harris, how you doing, sir?
Doing good. How about y'all?
Hey, man, we are good. We are Sunday night. We done made it to another one, and so we are thankful, and we won't complain. What they say in the Negro churches, we won't complain.
I won't complain.
Hey, man, but appreciate you coming in and giving us a little bit of your time. So what we do is we always give you a chance to kind of start off with just, anything that you want to get started with, and then we'll start, having a discussion, ask you some questions and things of that nature. So anything you want folks to know as we get started, you go ahead. You got
First off, I want to just say thank y'all for the tremendous job that y'all do in covering basketball. And then another thanks for covering Highlands County. We consider Polk County just like our brothers, So I play a lot up there, love playing up there, and just love the atmosphere when we come up there to play. And I just want to say thank you from Highlands County that we appreciate what you do and the platform that y'all have. And then I want to say to my brother Billy D, go Canes, baby.
You know it. Go Canes, man.
Go Canes, baby.
Jeez,
Hey, don't knock it. Don't knock. Hey, I didn't say nothing about you, Coach. I didn't say nothing. I said go Canes. That's it.
Now listen. They one thing, Coach, they know about me is I give credit where it's due. And right now, y'all got it right now, Coach. You got it right now. I don't do the whole shoulda, woulda, coulda. Some people like y'all got to win this and do that. I don't get into that, Coach. If you got it, you got it. And right now, y'all got it. Y'all look real good. I just hope, since obviously no other state school is going to do anything, hopefully y'all can represent the state and finish the deal. I mean, with how people are dropping, y'all definitely, and y'all got Carson Beck looking like Joe Burrow at LSU. I don't people fly around on defense, man. That's I got a shot, man. So shout out to the Haines, and But anyway, so I'll take that one, Coach. I'll take that one.
It wasn't no jab, though, Coach. It wasn't no jab.
Yeah, it's just the truth. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. So oh boy, here comes some more Canes in the chair. Not a hurricane, man. So, well, Coach, man. First off, you in Sebring, which is Polk County. Just how long have you been the head guy at Sebring? Because I know it's been getting up at least 20 years. Am I off on that? Close to that, right?
Yeah, you all, Coach. 24. This is the 24th one, and 31 years total.
31 years total, 24. Coach, that's insane to be at the same school that long, Coach. What is it about Sebring that keeps you coming back, that has helped you there that long?
Well, to start off with, I'm an alumni of Sebring, so that's a big factor in it. And then just seeing the need that we need for our kids here in this community, it just drives and propels me to just want to keep coming back. Every year I say, oh, this is my last year, this is my last year. And I keep on returning because there's a kid that I gravitated to that I feel as though that needs me there with him in order for him to make it. If he's in practice or he's at a game or we got them doing something, it keeps them from being on the streets where they could lose their lives and just being that father figure to so many young men.
Coach, I remember 3 years ago, you were like, Coach, this my last year. I'm like, Coach, for real? That was 3 years ago, Coach. We was at Lakeland High School. We was in the hospitality room getting some food in between when y'all eating and play. Yeah, Coach, I'm about done, Coach. I got my little grandson and all that. I'm like, okay, Coach. And 3 years later, Coach, you about to do it again, Coach. So you said, just keep coming back to it, Coach. And they are blessed to have you in Sebring, Coach. And then you don't just do football. Basketball, Coach. You got a great relationship with the football coach, with Coach Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about, because everybody don't have that, Coach. Talk about how important it is to have because you have kids that play football, and also you got y'all sharing kids. So talk about how important it is to have a good relationship. How have you been able to build that relationship with Coach Scott over the years that y'all work so well together?
Well, one of the things is that I coach Coach Scott in school. And he was a 3-sport guy. So he knew that he was going to be separated, from different sports. So when he became the head coach, it was already set in stone that, hey, man, we share kids. So if he has a weightlifting and I have a game during the summer, their game counts as their weightlifting. But I told my kids, hey, go and get 45 minutes, and then I'll pick you up from the weight room and take you to the game. You're going to get both of them in because we need strength in order to be, for our season too. So go get both of those things. And so we work together hand in hand. It's the best relationship that I can say. It's almost like a marriage, I would say. We understand each other and we talk about it. I give him my schedule for the summer. He gives me his, and I make adjustments to mine, and he makes adjustments to his, and it just works. It works very well. We don't have no type of conflict with anything, and the kids cannot play between us because we create a chat that the kids and myself and him, we're all on it. So you can't play between the two of us when that goes on. When we got something going on, he knows about it. He gets my schedule because he's one of my assistant coaches. So he has my schedule also. So there's no shady stuff going on. Well, Coach Harris told me I had to come. No. We done talked about this, and we're in constant communication. It's the best relationship a coach, a basketball coach, and a football coach could have.
Coach, I think you the only one I've heard say that y'all share a text group. And Coach Billy D, maybe you've heard that, but I don't think we've heard anybody came and say that they're sharing a text group with their probably the only person that may be close to that may be Coach Haines at Lakeland because he coached football. But that's half the battle, Coach, because like you said, they with kids today, Coach, are not kids yesterday. So
that's right.
You've been doing it for 24 years. What's the biggest thing that you have noticed as a coach over the years as it relates to coaching kids and and maybe you still coach them the same way. Maybe you still do stuff the same way, but I guess maybe I could ask, have you noticed any changes from year 1 to year 24? And what would you say are the biggest changes or challenges?
Well, I can say number one, maybe 5 years into it, the mentality has changed. You don't have as many kids want to be in the gym, want to come and work out, and will work hard for you. Back then, I used to have to kick the kids out of the gym because I say, hey, I got to go spend time with my family too. And they asked me, could they get keys to the gym? And I was like, no, we can't do that. And then so they would call the middle school coach and go to the middle school and practice. These kids here, it's only about 3 of them that has that same mentality. But we try to make sure that we're pushing it off on the other kids too. And then you can't get on them like you used to, which I do, because I'd rather just have the kids that want to be there versus the kids that don't want to be there. And just there. And I want to tell you that they want to go somewhere else. Hey, man, listen, I signed the paperwork. When you leaving? That's just me. You know what I mean? I'd rather lose with kids that want to be with me than to win with kids that don't want to be there and work hard.
And Coach, that's the next question. And you just kind of answered it, how have you navigated the transfer portal? Because on Thursday, you get on the kid hard in the game because he didn't rotate on defense or he didn't block off or whatever the case may be. And then on Friday, you get the email that the kid is at Lake Placid now. So how do you, some coaches coach not to lose kids because it's so fluid now. That portal, you can leave it any time. So it's changed how some coaches coach. But it sounds like it hasn't changed how you operate. You're going to be you regardless.
Coach, I'm old school. And, I always say that Nick Saban got out because he didn't want to deal with that. That wouldn't be a reason why I get out, because the kids aren't going to change me. I am who I am. I'm a man of character. And if you can't stand there and take what I'm giving to you, then it's probably going to be, you're going to have a rough life in front of you, because all I'm trying to do is prepare you for what's ahead of you as a young man. Because life is not easy, as all of us know that. And these young guys think that they just can run from to and fro because they think that the grass green on the other side. Well, it's not always greener. They just showing you a mirage sometimes, but you got to stay put and learn how to be in a disciplined area so that it will help you later on in life. And I think that's the biggest thing. That's what I stand on. It's not just about winning ball games for me. It's about teaching these young men life values and core values that's going to help them when they're 20, 21, 22, that age there. And yet still, they still going to be able to call you coach. Because I've had a kid here recently call me and say, Coach, I hated you when I played for you. He said, but now I'm 26 years old. I understand exactly what you were doing, and I appreciate you. So those are the things. That's what's the key for me. That's why I can't change. If I change, then I won't get those results at
Uh-oh.
Metro. Come on. Come on, Metro. Don't do it, Tug. Don't do it.
Ray, he was talking good too.
He was preaching. It was gospel. That's what we need to hear. Come on, Coach. We got to get Coach back on here, man. Where he at? Is he back? So, as y'all can see, while we working through Coach's technical issues, man, you know, when you're live, it just is. He's spinning. Coach, he sound like you. See, y'all guys get to a point, and y'all spoiled. And I'm gonna tell him that when he come back on here. Y'all are spoiled. Yeah, man.
Coach, how we spoiled, Coach?
Yeah,
Hey, I'm sorry about that. I had a call coming in. I had a call coming. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
No, you good. That we was talking Coach Elmo to that Highland County Metro phone, man.
No, T-Mobile.
What I was just saying, I was
Coach
telling
Harris,
Billy
he about to talk about us now.
Yeah,
I know.
Y'all spoiled though, because let me tell you why I say you spoiled. Because you can talk like that, Coach, and Billy D talk like this all the time, and y'all can, I don't say y'all can get away with it, but I guess y'all have put enough time in, and y'all got, you know, your resume allows you to do that. So there's a lot of people that can't say what you just said. A lot of people can't say this how it's gonna be. I sign your papers. They can't do that. They can't do that. So what advice would you give? And we working on Coach Billy D being a kinder version, because you know Billy D tough on coaches. You know, I know you know that, right? So what advice would you give to the coach that don't have it like that, don't have that 24 years, don't have that resume, that pedigree, and that, you know, that those credentials that you got, that Billy D got, you know, it ain't but a few of y'all that got it. So
right.
What would you give, say if I'm just starting out and I'm going through it, and I reach out to you like, Coach, man, I just need some advice. This is what I got going on, and it relates to player movement possible. How does someone who doesn't have what you have, what advice would you give to them to manage? Because we got a lot of new coaches, and people look at the show, right? And so some stuff that you're saying, it could possibly help them in their programs. Not trying to give away any of your gems, but just any advice you could give them to help them.
Coach, it's no gems to me. I think the biggest thing is you staying true and loyal to what your beliefs are. And don't let somebody change you, no matter what they're donating to your program or no matter what their kid name is. You got to stay true to who you are and what your program believe in. Your foundation of your program it's a representation of you. So however you want to be represented outside of that, you've got to stick to your foundation. And that's just what I believe in. I'd rather just deal with kids that want to be with me. And I'm tough on my kids. I'm tough. I mean, some people don't even see. I've been called to the school board about the way that I treat kids, but I'm tough. That same parent came back to me and asked me for help because I just believe in discipline and I'm just old school. So I just say to the young coaches, you got to be disciplined and you cannot bend. That's the key. You can't bend. Once you set a rule, you better be able to just say, okay, I'm gonna have to live with this, because we got some rules. And even Coach Scott got some that I've adopted, and he's adopted some of mine that we just don't bend off of. You know, it's a zero tolerance for getting in trouble in school. Zero. Because it's school first. You know, I always say it's GPA before NCAA.
What? That's a bar. Let me write that down.
You know?
We should have been at you on the show. GPA before. We're gonna put that tomorrow. Coach, this is a bar from Coach Princeton. Yeah, man. Yeah. Coach, I mean, but it sounds so simple, Coach. It sounds so simple. But like you said, you say you went to the school board. You don't have like no fear, Coach. And anybody who's been around you for 5 minutes, people that's watching you for the first time can see that you don't operate in fear.
No.
You're very confident and you're very sure of and good in yourself and your skin, which helps a lot with your success. Now, let's say I work for Highlands County School Board or I work for Polk County School Board, can I still operate that way as a school board employee?
Well, I think one of the biggest things, Coach, is one of the things that I did when I got hired before I accepted the job. I looked at the AD and I looked at the principal and I said, I'm going to run my program the way that I want to run it. And it's going to start with discipline. Now, if you can't, if y'all don't want to accept that, then I'm not the guy for the job. I'm not going to break any rules, but I am going to be tough. And it's going to be some rules. They have to sign a contract with the rules before they can play. So when you break those rules, and the first thing I do, if a parent comes to me and say, well, look, Johnny is suspended because he had ISS. Yes, ma'am. If you'd have been to the parent coaches meeting, you would have knew that because you'd have got the same contract that he got. Because you wasn't there, you don't know it. If you have a problem with it, you can go see my AD because he has a copy, or you can see the principal, she has a copy. And that's one of the ways that I get out a lot of it because, hey, if you show up, these are the rules, and you will be disciplined if you break one of them.
How important, and it sounds like you got a good relationship with the admin. How important is that for the success of a program? And Coach, I know Coach Billy D is he got an admin hat too. So how important is that piece to it? Can you be successful Can you be successful without having a good relationship with your admin?
I don't think you can, because you got to have their backing. And I talk to my AD at least once a week. And last week was more than that. I mean, and we talk all the time. And I'll talk to him in the morning because I just was doing some stuff for basketball and some came up that I wanted to talk with him about. And we talk consistently, especially during the season. He lets me know what's going on because I'm not at the school. Hey, coach, this kid here has a detention or whatever. And I have Coach Scott's wife, which is a big help to me because she helps his program and she like my little sister. So I give her a list of all my players once I pick my team, and she's in the guidance counselor. So she's checking grades. If they fall below a 2.5 or they got 10 missing assignments, I know about it. So guess what? You don't practice that day. You're in my office and you're doing your assignments. When you get your assignments, that's when you can practice. So it's a real discipline. It's just real discipline. So I think that you have to stay on top of them. And all kids want structure. And if you give them structure, I think you can get to them a lot better.
And so I was going to ask you that next because I know that you're not you're not on campus. You're not you don't work for the school. So I guess we'll be considered a community coach. Mm-hmm. And so you're able to navigate that because that's my next thing. How do you navigate the on-campus thing with your kids when you're not there? But you just said, so you kind of tap in with Coach Scott's wife, and she kind of helps you out a lot with that. So that's how you kind of manage it. Okay.
And then Coach Scott, like I said, Coach Scott is on my staff, and he's a dean.
Okay.
So I know what's going on. Okay. By the time they're coming up to the office, he got me on the phone, and we on speaker, and they sitting in his office.
Oh, that's a cheat code. I didn't know Coach.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Yep. That's everything. Okay.
Coach Harris, I got a question.
Okay.
Talk about the evolution of basketball in Highlands County. Like we know about it from an outside standpoint, but from the inside standpoint, how has that evolved over the past 24 years that you've been coaching?
Oh, it's definitely not involved. These kids now are, like I said, I have, I'll take, for instance, my squad this year. I'll have 5 seniors, which it sounds like a lot, but only one of them really played. And then I got 4 juniors, and 2 of those guys are probably going to end up in the starting lineup. And then I have 2 sophomores, and one of the sophomores definitely in the starting lineup. And I got a freshman that's probably going to be in the starting lineup. So it's definitely changed. And then throughout the community, it's spotty. It's very spotty. Avon Park has a good team with Chris over there in Avon Park, and the twin, and they got a guard, Chavis, and they're gonna be pretty good again this year. But everybody don't step up to the challenge and get out and play competitive people. Everybody seems like they want to build these little, not so competitive schedules. I'm gonna play people, whether we win or lose. I'm gonna play because I play for February, not for November through December, January. It's about that. I'm gonna play McGriff every year, and me and McGriff done went back and forth. I done had some teams where I thought we never would beat him, and we end up beating him. And he done had some teams that just done beat us. I'm gonna play those teams. I'm gonna play Lakeland. I'm playing Winter Haven this year. I know they're down, but we've played Winter Haven in the past. So as far as Sebring basketball, it's just consistently evolving because we just won't give it a rest. And now it's done turned into a year-round thing for us. We just don't do it, once the season's over, it's over with. You got 3 weeks off and we're right back at it. And even just making them so disciplined, my tryouts is 6:00 in the morning, the 27th. And if you don't make the tryout, you don't get another shot.
Weeding them out, Coach. Weeding them out. Well, I was amused at the coach, Coach Spears, because last week he was just asking, what should you be doing? It's 3 weeks before you officially start. What should you be doing to get yourself ready for the start of the season? So you're year round because basketball. We were talking about this the other day. That I never remember basketball being so early. Like we're playing these shootouts and people in the gym and people playing. So if you're not playing, Coach, you're already behind. You're hustling back. You got to play at this point. So I know you just played in the fall league, the Taylor Athletes fall league last week. Mm-hmm. I saw you brought your kids up and played. So talk about, as you transition, talk about your schedule. So how, with the way the state does now with strength of schedule and that kind of impact the playoffs, you almost have to, like you say, you gotta, I guess, decide what you think your team is, what you see out of your team as you're building your schedule. So how important is it, and you do it, obviously, but how important is it to play, let's just say, a tough schedule, even a district schedule? Because, some people won't play their district opponent because you don't have to now. So what is your take on that when you're going into building your schedule? Do I need to play district teams? Do I need to play out-of-county teams? Do I need to go to this tournament? How do I need to position myself? And we talk about this all the time. Like, do you look at your region when you're doing your schedule? Or you're just kind of trying to play the best possible games you can play?
Well, that's a couple things that I look at. Number one, I'm always going to play Bartow. That's a given. We've been doing it for 20 years now, right? I'm always going to play them. And then I'm looking for teams that's been in the Elite Eight, Final Four last year and see what they got coming back. And I want to play them. We're playing Discovery this year. We're going to Daytona Maitland and playing in the tournament over there. And sometimes, you say, okay, well, these kids are going to have to crap or get off the pot. So you got to put them in competitive situations because you never know what they can do. And then on the other side of it, they never know what they can do unless they're being put in it. You got to be battle tested is the way that I look at it. So, I feel as though that you got to build a very, very competitive schedule with teams that you may think that you have a chance with, and then teams that you say, I don't have a chance, but I still need to play them because the strength of schedule is going to be in my favor when it comes out at the end. Take, for instance, Avon Park last year. They go 29-4, and they draw that first round to Calvary Christian because of strength of schedule. They win the district, and you draw first round Calvary Christian, but strength of schedule goes back to that. You could have got them later and no telling what you could have done, but you have to build. And that's one of the things that I've been talking to the coaches around here. Hey, man, don't be afraid to play stronger teams because it's going to benefit you in the long run. When those polls come out, it's going to help you. You may not seem like it in the beginning, but it's going to help you. And then you're going to build confidence in your kids and allow them to continue to play against, be competitive.
Okay. Well, Coach, talk about your kids. Talk about you say you got 5 seniors, 4 juniors, 2 sophomores, and a freshman. As much as you want to talk about them, talk about who is going to put on the Sebring Blue Street uniform this year. What you got and what you think what you're looking for. Just give you a chance to talk about your kids. What you want.
Yeah, I can tell you this: we're gonna be young, right? But we're gonna be competitive. We're gonna be competitive. We're gonna be scrappy. That's one thing I'm gonna say, that Sebring will always be competitive and scrappy when as long as I'm the coach. And just to start off, Keaton Heston had transferred to Bartow and then he came back. So, he's definitely going to be one of our go-to guys. He's been working hard, and he's just developing more and more. And I just see more and more out of him. He's young. He's a sophomore. And then you go down and you're going to have a freshman, old player that we used to have, Eric Zoyer, his son. He's a freshman. So we're going to take a chance with him. He played this summer, and we just want him to grow up. And then you go to that junior class is the one that's questionable because it's guards. There's a bunch of guards in there, and they've got the potential to be pretty good. But again, they're going to have to be put to the fire and earn everything that they get. And that's the biggest thing that's going to, for us, where we're looking at. And then my seniors, I got Zayden Wilkerson. He's played for me for 2 years now. So he should come and be a pretty good asset for us. And then my little nephew, Clayshawn Thornton, he's a guard. And the other guards are just guys that they can play, but I don't know, it's going to be competitive in practice. And then our big guy, Aiden Tony, 6'5", 330 pounds. But when you hear that, you say, okay, can he move? Yeah, he can move up and down the court. So we're going to be smaller besides him. But I think that we're going to be very competitive when we get this thing all together and get our football players, which we may not get them until sometime in December. So that's a chance that we take. But I didn't back away from the schedule and open the season. We got Discovery coming out the gate and probably won't have them. But guess what? We ain't changing the date. We're going to go and play.
That's the thing, Coach. Sebring is normally pretty good at football too.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the same battle that say Lakeland and Lake Wells have,
right.
Victory in some of those schools in Polk County, and so you don't worry about your schedule based off of when you're gonna get them. You just line it up essentially.
You got to play, Coach. I can't afford to have 4 games every week in January, and have them dirt tired all the time. We've got to play. And that's the way I build the schedule. And I hate, some people might not like it, but I want to see what those guys are going to do. It shows you what you have later on in February. Hey, man, listen, ain't nobody here to bail you out today, so you got to play, right? I don't have anybody else to put in. We got 8 people here, so you got to play. And that's one thing. That's one of the reasons why I do it. I put us in a tough game early so that we can see where we're really at, and you kind of like trial by fire.
That's a good thing, Coach, to get them that experience. So when you get your other guys, that experience early on will be valuable later on when you get to district play and you're trying to make a run. So talk about your district, Coach. How do you feel about the other teams in your district, and how do you guys line up and stack up in your district right now?
Well, I think, and I'll give credit where credit is due. I think Eric has the upper hand in the district, but like I always say, we strive for competition. Then, it's Lake Wells and us. Last year was a dogfight between us and Lake Wells in the semifinals to get to play Arbondale. And we ended up losing by 2 points on the last second shot. So, I think that it's going to be lining up very well with us. And, we're just going to get out there coaching and just know that it's going to be a fight. We ain't going to come and just lay down.
So it's one of the toughest places to win in my time when I was coaching is down there in Sebring. I don't know if it's something with the lighting. I don't know if you cut off a couple lights or it's tough in there, Coach. Them kids play hard, man, and you coach them hard, Coach. You coach them hard. You coach the refs hard, and
they talk about them. They be like, man, that Sebring coach. I be like, man, I don't have no trouble out of them. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind admitting if I mess up. Hey, coach, I missed it. You know what I'm saying? He be fine with that.
And coach, that's the biggest thing right there. You know, I ain't gonna go on that soapbox, but you know, just like Tuma always say, you know, they scroll in with their briefcases, man, their suitcase. You know, like we finna go to Jamaica or something, and then you come down there, you don't want to call no call. I got to say something. You know, you working for us, right? You working for
Right.
us. So, you know, I'm gonna do better though. I told myself that's one of my that's a big statement on my board, man, to lay off the refs this year. So if any of y'all on here, if I get on your bad, forgive me. I'm a work in progress, under construction.
Hey, Charlie, to my head, not to my heart, man. Hey, so coach, you feel pretty good about your district. How do you feel about the region overall? Have you had a chance to look at your region?
I looked at it a little bit, coach. I don't talk about it much. My staff, me and my staff will talk about it, but the first thing at hand is taking care of what's in front of us, and that's the district. And then once it gets into January, mid-January, we really will start taking a deep dive and looking at that region and paying a close attention to what's going on and start going and seeing some teams that we feel is possibly that we're going to play. That's one of the things that we do a lot of. I travel a lot and watch a lot of basketball that of opponents that I think I may have to play, and I'll go see it. I pull a lot of schedules, and I miss practice sometimes so that I can make it down south or over Fort Myers, Naples area just to watch a game because a film just doesn't always show the speed of a team. So I just like to see stuff live. I get a better feel for it live. So if I know that we're playing somebody over that area, we do a lot of scouting, or we'll have a practice early that morning, and then the coaching staff will split up, and he goes over here and I go there, and we're going to do it like that so that we definitely know what's going on.
Coach, you
Coach, I
just mentioned
always
something. You
go ahead.
missing practice in order to, go scout a game. So that means that you really trust your coaching staff. Can you just highlight how important it is to have good help and
Oh,
what those roles look like for Sebring?
I can tell you, I was after a guy for the last 3 years, 4 years, and he went back overseas and went to plan. Well, last year I got him. He played 15 years overseas and won 2 championships over there. And he is a gym rat. He loves the gym and he studies the game. So this summer and even last summer, I gave him the opportunity and he coached. And he's like, Coach, you staying with me? No, nope. So I wouldn't even be on the bench. I would sit in the stands and hey, it's on you. So he has developed, and he was a head coach in Lake Placid, Giovanni Schuler, and a heck of a player. He played at Savannah State and then went overseas, like I said, and played 15 years. So that staff, man, and then I have Chris Hawthorne and LeVar and Brooks, and having a great staff and trusting them enough to be able to go away and not be at practice to go look at scout a game is big. And I don't have to worry about how practice went because they're disciplined also. It's no discipline. Actually, some of the kids say, Coach, hey, why you want that practice, man? They too mean, but that's what I told them to be. You got to be tough on them, so the kids don't like when I'm not at practice because I'm tough, but they're a little bit tougher than me. So that's to me, that's a good thing. I know that I can go places and look at games because I got a great staff that's going to take care of business when I'm not there. It's
That's
very important.
that's interesting, Coach. That I don't think I've heard anybody go about it that way, where they will leave it to their staff and they go watch the games while they're practicing. That's big. First of all, that's an interesting way to look at it, and that's a testament to you and your you don't have that ego, like I gotta be the guy. They gotta always hear my voice. I'm the only one that's talking to them, the only one that's calling plays. And we got some coaches that are like that. It's their voice and nobody else's. And so I think a very underrated trait that successful coaches have is they don't have ego. And it
Right.
sounds simple, Coach. It sounds simple, but everybody don't have that. And that's a testament to your coaching. And like you said, you give them ownership And so now we're all saying the same thing. So like I said, the kids can't play each other. They can't play you and Coach Scott against each other. Now they can't play against Coach Schuler or Coach Hawthorne or anybody because y'all all speaking the same language, whether I'm here or not. The show's still gonna move on.
Right.
And I think that's a great way to look at it. It's very unique. I don't think I've heard no coach say that that's how they go about doing it. Maybe they do. Maybe McGriff. Maybe. I'm sure other people, but that's interesting, Coach, and that's a credit to you of the trust that you have. Because what's the point of having assistants? We say this all the time. If you're not going to trust them and allow them to be free to help, you can't see everything. You can't do everything. Okay, how great.
That's right.
You can't see it. You need help. All of us need help, right? So shout out to you, man, for
and just like Billy D and Johnny, right? Billy D comes in and Johnny gives him rain. I don't do any subbing unless it's something that I want to do. And so they say, Coach, you want me to do? I said, what you asking me for? I say, I trust you for that. So don't ask me who do I want. No, you're in practice. You know the kids. You're spending just as much time with them. I trust your decision. And that has become one of the biggest things for us. They understand that I really trust what they said. So they're not afraid to do something because when he came on board, he was like, Coach, you going to trust me to do that? Yeah, I wouldn't bring you on my staff if I didn't trust you enough to give you some responsibilities. These are your responsibilities. And then he does the game. He does some of the game planning and the film watching. And he's over that part for the kids. They have to send him a report of the film. If you don't send it, you don't play.
Wow, that's big too. Because kids don't watch film like that no more.
No.
You hold them accountable too by saying you got to send the report to them. So hopefully some coaches are taking some of this stuff because you dropping them, Coach. You dropping some gems. So appreciate all your time, man. So
appreciate you.
This question. We ask one more question, then give you a chance to kind of end what you want to, anything you want to finish up with. But you kind of already said this, so maybe it's something different in addition. What's one thing that you are leaving behind from last year, and what's one thing you bringing with you into this year? So what's one thing that happened? It could be basketball related, whatever, that you leaving in 24-25, and what's one thing you're taking into 25-26?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that I'm going to leave this season here means a lot to me. Last year, it was a depressing season because I lost pretty much like my sister. That was my sister assistant coach, the girl that keeps my score, right? So that took me for a toll. So I'm leaving that behind because, it's constant. Like today's her birthday, for instance. And it's like she keeps telling me, hey, you got to keep pushing on because her son plays for me. And so now I'm the mentor to him because I lost my mother in high school. So I'm the mentor for him. So I'm carrying that in and being the mentor for him and being there for him in every aspect, as a father, as a coach, as a brother, so that's one thing that I'm definitely carrying into the year. And this year is pretty much dedicated to her. And last year, we just want to forget about the losses that we had and the obstacles that we had and move forward. It's a clean slate. Let's not make the same mistakes and lose the games the same way we did last year, this year. Let's create something new. Be more competitive and ask yourself, did you give everything you had in the tank tonight? If you didn't, why? And we ask that question nightly after every game, whether it's a win or a loss. Did you give it your all? What was your percentage out there? And we want to make sure that we continue to carry that in there. And then nowadays, it's crazy to say it, we got to ask, are you living right? Are you putting the right things in your body? Because the performance is not there. So that's what I'm going to be carrying into this year. That was going to be the big one for me. Carrying that into this year. Are you living right? Are you putting the right things in your body? Because we had a 3-day weekend and we didn't have practice on Saturday and Sunday, did you go to a party and do stuff you shouldn't have been doing? It's in the room, Doc. We got to talk about it. You know what I mean? We got to talk about it. So that's one of the biggest thing with us. And it's a constant battle. And I know we're not going to win all of them, but if we can just get one, If we can get one, we won. It's a win. And that's the way I look at it. I'm not trying to get all 30 of them that's on JV and varsity, but if I can get one of them to stop something that they're doing that's not right, then I've done my job. I feel like I won. That's my state championship.
Wow, Coach. I don't know what I expected out of this, Coach, but this been way more than anything that I thought we would be able to get from you, Coach. And man,
I appreciate you, Coach, because they've been having interventions with me.
Yeah, man. and we got our other guest in the he done tapped in. So we want to give him a chance to jump on. You can stay on, Coach.
Okay.
This is Coach Jamorris here from Haines City. What's going on with you, Coach?
Yo, what up? What up?
Hey, man, we appreciate you. Appreciate you tapping in with us, man. We got Coach Harris on with us, Sebring also. I don't know if y'all familiar with each other, man, but
yes, sir.
Yeah, Coach. What's yeah, Coach Harris been having church. He's been dropping.
I've been listening. I've been listening.
You've been checking them out. So, Coach, we'll just talk to everybody, man. Let folks know who you is, anything you want folks to know about you. And whatever you feel like you want to drop on them, you got it right now for a couple minutes.
No, I'm Coach Hill, head coach at Haines City. This is my third year. I don't really have nothing I want to drop right now. I mean, if you got any questions, we can go from there.
Got you. Well, how you feel about? I know that you working hard. I know you've been playing. I know y'all played over in the villages, and you've been kind of in the gym. How do you feel about your team as we getting ready to start a new season? As much as you want to talk about it, some people want to share, some people want to keep it. We just ask the question, and we allow you to answer how you want to answer it.
No, I feel good about it, man. I have some good characters, man. So and then our team, man, we're not gonna pass the eye test, but we definitely gonna play some good ball, man. I have just off of the characters that I have, man, I can do a lot more than I could before. Playing at the villages, I think we played Plant City. That was pretty good, man. That kind of gave me a flash of what I can expect this season. And then we played at Davenport. We had some good flashes. And then we had some mess ups, which is what it's for. But overall, I think this year we'll do pretty good. The schedule I think it's kind of tough. So that might not reflect to the naked eye, but it'll benefit us. We'll be able to learn. So that's the main thing, just learning off the other guys. So
in year 3, do you feel like things are starting to slow down for you, or you feel like it's still coming from every which way, or you feel like you kind of got a good foundation now?
Yeah, it's starting to slow down. I think the culture is starting to actually change. Like when you first come in, you kind of wanted to change immediately, but it takes some time. And I'm kind of starting to reap the benefits from before. So I think that it's starting to settle down, like you just said, man. I feel like I don't know. I don't know what to expect, man, because my first year when I was losing, I really want to hear nothing from like the crowds or parents. But then I started winning a little bit. I heard more from when I was winning than when I was losing. So it's a change. So we'll see.
Well, you at a school, you and Coach Princeton, and both y'all at schools with like real big traditions, like school tradition, city tradition. Like Haines City is not just the school, it's the whole community, right? Sebring is not just the school's community. So how is that for both of y'all? How is that? Is it any pressure with that? Is it pride with that? How is that with coaching not just Haines City, the school, but the community? You pull up to the gas station and again you just want to get you some gas and soda, and you might walk up on an old timer, that got something to say. How has that been managing the tradition of the school as you guys, are establishing programs and trying to keep them relevant? You're trying to restore Haines City, and Coach Princeton, you're trying to keep, keep Sebring to the level that you develop. So how's that for both of y'all?
Well, for me, the whole community, they near my cousins, so it ain't, you feel me? It ain't too much pressure. And then like I have some alumni that I talk to every now and then, like B Street. He talk to me all the time, man. We talk dang near once a week, so he's on the positive end, just knowing that it take time and then positive reinforcement. So for me, it really ain't that much pressure. But I just hope everybody understand it take time, because if you don't build them up, bro, you ain't gonna get them for real. And even if you do build them up now, they'll transfer. So it's kind of hard, man. So for me, it ain't too much pressure.
Okay.
Well, I say in Sebring, I get it sometimes from some of my kids that has played for me, some of the alumni. So they'll come back and they'll come to a game and they'll be like, Coach, man, you ain't tough on them like you was with us. I'll get that from people. But for the most part, it's a lot of positive. But my alumni comes back and talks to my kids a lot. And that's one of the biggest things that does it for us. I give them opportunity to come in the locker room and just drop nuggets with them. Sometimes they do the pregame speech. I won't say anything. So it varies, but the community, you're right. You hear it from some of them old timers, some of the old guys, they got a lot to say to you sometimes, but I take it with a grain of salt. And all I do is ask them, say, hey, school board open Monday through Friday. It's more than welcome to go fill out an application.
We was just talking before y'all jumped on about parents, man. Like, and I know y'all deal with parents because y'all actively coaching. Sometimes I wish some parents I would pay to watch them coach because I don't think they don't get all that goes into coaching. Coach, you call a set, you done worked on all week in practice, they get in the game and they do something totally different, and it's your fault. Like, bro,
Yeah.
you think I
forgot the whole
want them?
set.
You know what I'm saying? You think I want them taking that quick shot? Like, that ain't what we worked on, but that's what they do, and the coach always gets it. I just wish parents could fully appreciate it. So for both of y'all, how is it the parent aspect? And I know y'all on two opposite ends, like Coach Jamorris, you 3 years in, and Coach Princeton 30 years in. So are parents different from 30 to 3, or are they the same?
I don't know, man. I haven't really had any. I've had one direct encounter. Majority of it be emails. You feel me? So I ain't really had to sit down in front of nobody for real, except for that one, and we handled it right then. But they go over you immediately. So it's kind of like I don't know if they try to scare you or I don't know. So, but like you said earlier, I have good admin, so we kind of handle this. So
Okay.
I think that's one of the biggest things. I've had some direct contact with some parents immediately after the game, and I told them I got a 48-hour rule. You talk to me 48 hours and don't call me. Call the AD, set up appointment, and I'll choose to meet with you if I want to or not. But I'm not going to talk to you after the game. And then again, you gotta have a great admin. I mean, that AD is everything, and he knows that. I mean, and if it's about playing time, there's no meeting to even discuss. He shuts it down for me. I don't even have to talk about it. He's like, we're not going to talk about playing time or what this other kid did. He doesn't do that. So he just shuts it down. So sometimes I don't even get to a meeting. They'll want to set one up, and I won't even get to it because he'll take care of it.
That's priceless. So, Jay, we'll talk about your district. How you feel about your teams and your district, and as you're getting ready to line
I turn my camera off. Fair. All jokes aside, though.
I get you.
All jokes aside, though. I feel good, man. I'm really feeling worried about Osceola. Last year we played them. They ran us at the gym. I think we was tired though. We played the night before we played Ridge. We got on the bus that next night and they literally ran us out the gym. Tip off from the jump. Like first 10 seconds, it was 9-0. So I'm just worried about them. But we match up with them. We match up with them this year. So I'll have some guys that can run and shoot.
Did you learn from that in your scheduling this year? Did you schedule back to back?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, with a tough team.
But that was district play though. That was it was right after our district game. We had to get on. You feel me? So that one though. And then we played Ridge. That's a rival game, so they going all out. And I even took them out. I took them out fourth quarter, and we still was. They came out sluggish, but I learned from them though. I had some guys that's on the team. Or I actually brought some of my JV guys with me so they can see, and they seen how they ran. So they kind of we picked from that.
Okay.
But really, I'm really just worried about Osceola for.
Okay. So, Coach, same question I asked Coach Prince a little while ago. What's one thing that you leave behind from last season, and what's one thing that you taking into this season?
My practices, man. My practices were decent, but this year I changed a lot. My practices weren't competitive enough. Like I was so focused on, and we were so focused on just completing things, trying to get things done so they can learn. But I missed the competitiveness aspect, like little small things like practice jersey and having them on certain teams, and then actually tallying stats in practice. You feel me? So now this whole fall and summer, that's all we worked on. So the non-competitive practices and bad characters, and then bringing in competitive practices and great characters, because you can do a lot more with guys that have great characters.
Well, the fact that you got out and played, Coach, and you playing competition. I know you played in the villages. I think you played over in the summer over in Orange County area. So you're not just sitting home, and I know you do the training with you guys. I know you train. You do a great job of coach training them up, and also too.
I felt like we needed to focus more so on skill sets, because I mean you can play all summer, and then like my summer teams be good, and then you come to the season, you got a whole completely different team than you had during the summer because guys are transferred in, transferred out. So I kind of feel like chemistry wise, it really ain't beneficial. It's almost like an ego type thing. I just felt like we need to sit down and actually learn the simple things that we kind of overlooked or we don't spend much time on.
How do you navigate that, Coach, that transfer portal? Because I know it's different from you than Coach Princeton. Coach Princeton tell them they can go.
I feel the same way.
Okay.
I feel it's God, bro. I believe in God. So whoever he bring in, and whoever here, they supposed to be here. I'm not going to chase nobody for real. Because if I can't impact you, then it ain't meant for me to impact you. Because like I say, it's already written. So I'm working with the guys I want to be here, and if they leave, then they ain't want to be there. So I need all the guys in the gym, bro. I need guys that want to be in the gym. That's trying to be in the gym. If you even have any type of doubt that you don't want to be there, bro, all you doing is killing everybody else. So I'm not going to go chase nobody for real. And then my first year, or the year after my first year, when everybody started transferring, I lost like my best two guys. So, but I ended up gaining three more. So it's like when I lose one, I gain two more. So for me, it ain't been a bad experience.
Okay. Well, last question for both of y'all, man. Thank y'all for giving us your time. First of all, what's the last thing you want to leave people with? What you want folks to know about Haines City? Like when you start playing, if you want to know anything about Haines City, anything about Sebring before y'all jump off that you ain't already talked about.
You can go first, Coach.
I really don't have nothing, Coach. I really don't have a lot. We're just looking forward to, kicking this thing off in a couple of weeks and just going out competing. Come check us out when we're in a city close to you.
So what Coach always say, what do you think? He asked this question last week. What should you be doing at this time, from this time period to the start to the 27th? What should you be working on?
Well, the guys that's out there, we have given them an outline. So number one, they should be running a mile, because they're gonna run the mile Monday. So, and you're gonna run it in a time. So that's one of the biggest things you should be working on, and still getting your 3 lifts in a week.
Okay, running and lifting.
Okay. Same, running, and then my guys that know that's been playing together, I want them to go ahead and I want to go to the courts and play. I want them to go to the field house, go to Lake Eva, and play together on the street in this little period of time, because we ain't supposed to be doing that. So I want them to go out and build that chemistry outside of me making them, you feel me? So I feel like that's more effective than me having them in the gym all the time. But if they, hey, let's meet up here, we're gonna hoop together and actually play on a team together, I feel like that's what they should be doing in these couple, these couple little weeks.
Well, coach, you got anything else, Coach? Coach Billy D?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, man, we appreciate both of y'all giving us your
Appreciate
time, man. Excited for y'all. Y'all are doing great things for Haines City and for Sebring. I think they made the right choice in both cases, hiring y'all. Y'all both high character guys. Also, we're glad y'all was able to come on and people can see. Sometimes people see words and they see stuff, but hearing you talk and just getting the energy from you is different. So I'm glad that both of y'all decided to jump on and talk, because everybody that we offer don't say yeah. So all we do is ask you. If you say yeah, you come on. If you say no, it's free publicity for your squad. And and as long as we at Polk Hoops, we gonna always support kids. We don't care what team it is. We don't care what they're doing. If it's out there, we gonna spotlight them, because that's what we about. So thank y'all for coming on, and thank y'all for what y'all doing for the kids in Haines City and Sebring. And good luck to both of y'all this season, man.
Appreciate you.
We'll be here for you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate
Anything-
y'all having.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Our pleasure, man. Anything y'all need from us, man, we can help you with. We got you, all right? So thank y'all for your time, man. And
Thank you.
y'all take care and good luck this season.
Right. All right.
All right.
You too. All right.
All right.
Coach, I think those programs are in unique situations. You can really see the growth in Coach Hill, and I'm looking forward to see the product that they put on the court. And then listening to Coach Harris, you know what I'm saying? It's good to know that you can do it your own way, Coach. I wrote that article just for that reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because in the end, it's on you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go out saying I shoulda, coulda, woulda, I should have did this differently. I shouldn't have, let this person dictate what I was doing in my program or admin or whatever. In the end, you want to do it your way so you can leave there on a good note, like, hey, I gave it all I can. You know what I'm saying? I think I did everything possible to put these young people in the best position for this program to succeed.
Yeah. And I've just known Coach Hill from Polk Hoops from the time he's been coaching in Haines City, but I've known Coach Harris for years. Like, even when I was at Lakeland, Coach,
Mm-hmm.
Coach Collins came from Sebring before he came up this way. So we used to always go down there and play in the Christmas tournament. And so Coach Harris has always been the same way. He just good people, care about kids. He consistent. And I mean, like you say, Coach, stay in one place for 24 years. I mean, that speaks for itself. So
It does.
yeah. So appreciate Coach Harris and Coach Hill for jumping on tonight. And we posted the schedule for what we're doing the rest of the time up until the season. Next week, we got Coach Fitzgerald stopping in from Victory and talking about his squad. And then the following week, we have Coach, I got it right, Coach Blicker. No, I'm sorry. Next week, we got Coach Woodside. Coach Woodside from Winter Haven will be stopping in next week. The following week, we will have Coach Fitzgerald. Then the following week, we'll have Coach Blicker from Santa Fe. Then we'll take a week off. And then the last one that we'll have before the season starts, right around the same time that hopefully the magazine will be out to folks, will be Coach McGriff from Bartow. And so all of those people have confirmed. That's why we can tell y'all. That's why we posted it. Once again, all we can do is put it out there, allow people to come on and speak on their squads. And for the people that have came on, we appreciate y'all. And I know that the fan base and the people that's following Polk County basketball appreciate y'all. And the other people that chose not to, that's your choice, obviously. But we just want to make sure everybody know that we are, because this first thing, Coach, is what we play favorites. We do this, that, and the third. So on purpose, the last couple of people that we're going to talk to is the ones that we always seem to talk to. So we want to make sure that myth was smashed this year. So All we can do is keep plugging, coach, and keep trying to spotlight high school basketball, which is what our whole thing is about. So, let's go, coach. You got one more week, right? No, you 27, just like y'all start the same time. Y'all don't start this week.
The same time, coach.
Two more
you know
weeks.
what I'm saying? And we got to share gym time and figure out who's having tryouts at what time and all this other stuff. While volleyball is still in season. So,
meanwhile, you get in your car and drive 45 minutes west on I-4, east on I-4. They got 3-4 gyms. They got auxiliary gyms and everything else. So everything else at the same time, coach. We just
it's tough out here, coach.
Yeah, we talked about it last week, and some people was talking about the whole Polk County Basketball Alliance, coach. And do you think that'll really even go anywhere, coach? Honestly,
I think McGriff will have to head it in order for that to happen. And Coach McGriff, once you listen to this on probably tomorrow or Tuesday, I'll be willing to help you with that and get that ball to bouncing, because I think it's needed. I think coaches need a voice, coach. We need a platform where coaches need a voice, and they can have that voice with who's ever at the school board.
So you think coaches feel they don't have one? I mean, that's the reality. But do you think they feel they don't have a voice? So
I don't think they feel they have a voice. You know what I'm saying? And collectively they can. I think it's just individuals, are not afraid to voice their opinion. But I think collectively, if they can come together, have this association, and just like schedule meetings with the AD, possibly even school board members, I think it at least start the dialogue, so it can go somewhere.
I think it's long overdue. Because like you said, in 2 weeks for you all to have to deal with, and nothing against volleyball, because it's volleyball, right? It's their state. They use the same gym as well, but that's, like you say, that becomes, you got to deal with volleyball. You got to deal with your varsity practicing. Then you got to deal with girls varsity practicing. Then you got to deal with tryouts on the girls side, tryouts on the boys side. So that's 5 different people in the gym, right?
So, and how late those kids gonna finish and have to be to school the next morning?
And don't let your football team, it be raining. Certain schools, when it rains, the football comes into the gym. I know at least one school where, shall remain nameless, where he got kicked out a couple of times of on my way from Alcatraz, middle of the school. I get a text or a call like, Coach, we're gonna be at Southeastern. Coach, why we at Southeastern? Well, it's raining, so football gonna be in the gym. So we thank God. Shout out to Eddie Anderson at the time was at Southeastern. So, and Luke was playing with us. So we always had a plan B. But just think, Coach, if we had no plan B, guess what? We wouldn't have been able to practice. And now we can't go down to the football field and move them off the football field, right? But they can move us out the gym. But let me get off my soapbox on that. Because football is king out there at Lake Hogsworth Road. So we all know that. But I mean, just having to navigate all of that, Coach, that's insane. That's insane. And you got to do it multiple days, right? So if you at a school that got a really good volleyball team,
in which we do, they're in the playoffs every year.
Come on, man. So it ain't even like it's like a one and done type deal. It's like they're going to directly impact the start of your season, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I do think it is strength in numbers. I hope enough of the coaches feel that it's worthy to be involved with it and not be fearful. Sometimes, people be fearful of retaliation too, so they don't want to say nothing because they don't want it to come back on them. But you can't. Improvement can't happen if we don't talk, if we don't start a conversation. And
I think that's why you form an association, so you have a representative talking for you, so you're not singled out with some of the issues that we're having. These issues are countywide. It's not just one school or one coach. You know what I'm saying? It's everybody. Everybody's dealing with these issues. So, like I said, I think it has to start somewhere. I think Coach McGriff is the key to get this started. I'm pretty sure he don't want to take on another responsibility. But
Yeah.
like I said, I'm willing to partner with him and at least get it going.
Yeah, so you partner with him on behalf of LBD or Polk Hoops or just you or whatever. And I know I'm not actively coaching, but anything that I can do, this platform can do to help improve basketball for the programs and just overall, which is like I say, they keep saying it, but that's the truth. The whole reason why we even doing it in the first place. So I do think, like I said last week, for us to be as competitive as we are with our resources and our, what we have to go through, as opposed to what these other people that we're having to play against and battle against have to go through. I think it's a definite, like a badge of honor. It should be a pat on the back, a standing ovation to all of the programs with how they navigate what they have to navigate, and still be able to put a product on the floor that's competitive and successful at the same pace.
No.
That field house is a whole different animal, ain't it, Coach?
Mm-hmm.
That
But
field
no,
house,
Coach, they don't let us in there. And if they do, they trying to charge us.
Yeah, I saw where somebody said last week about tapping in with the middle schools, and that would be great because they said those gyms just sitting there being unused. But then I know what happened with that. It'll be a situation where transportation liability, you putting people in your cars and all that. I can just see that being the pushback off of that.
And also, middle schools don't get out to 4 o'clock, Coach. You know what I'm saying? So now you talking about possibly having high school kids on your campus before you even dismiss from school, which creates another liability.
So is mess the right word? Is a mess, or is that might not be? It's something. It's something that needs to be, like you say, needs to be studied, addressed, and discussed to see what can be done to improve it. But like you said, the only way it's going to happen, the only way they're going to listen if it's a collective that's saying the words. If one person here or one person there saying it, it's more easy to ignore it. But when you got a group of people saying it, it's hard to ignore a group of people that say the same thing. Especially if we all in the kid business and we just trying to do the best we can for kids. And if y'all in the kid business, then that's how it's supposed to go. We all supposed to be trying to do the same thing. But hopefully we can, like you say, we can get McGriff and, you on board and the guys like Coach Jones saying, the guys that carry some weight. If the state championship people, the state finalist people are talking, you can't ignore a group. It's a collective voice. One voice you can, but voices, it's hard to ignore that. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we'll get something going with that, man. Because like you said, that's gonna be tough for you to have to manage all that kind of stuff, and then still got to go to school, So I can't start at 7 o'clock, but school got out at 2 o'clock. Come on, man. That's insanity. But anyway, those views are expressed by Polk Hoops, Corey, Jay. Those are not expressed by Corey Toomer or Billy D. Washington. let the record show that. So anyway, man, appreciate Coach Harris and Coach Hill stopping by and dropping gems, man, and talk about their squads and their team, man. Thank you for y'all time and good luck to y'all this season. And thank y'all for tuning in and rocking with us tonight, man. Good show. 2 weeks
Before
away.
Y'all leave, flash sale ends tonight for the magazine.
Tonight it has been a labor of love. Ready to get it out there to y'all, man. Ready to get it to you so you can read about it and see what we got for you, man. We just appreciate being able to continue to be trendsetters. We're the only one in the state of Florida. Polk County is the only county that has a preseason high school magazine in the state of Florida. That includes Dade County. That includes Duval. That includes Orange, Hillsborough, anybody else, Palm Beach, Broward. Nobody does it to the level that we do. Nobody does what we do, even with Polk Hoops, to the level that we do. So we are trendsetters, and we are proud of our product. We line our product against anybody in the state, and so that's just another way for us to showcase and spotlight every full page previews for every team as rankings, and got a great interview. If for no other reason, y'all pick up the interview from Coach Blooker and Coach Fitzgerald. Got a chance to interview both of them, and they dropped some gems. So just we had a chance to. It's just we're excited about it. We're excited about being able to spotlight all the programs in the county, because that's what we do. So it's 25 teams that we got that get previews, and then kids with the rankings. Each class got a ranking. Last year we did the top 20 players. This year we're doing the top 50 overall players. So just trying to expand it and grow it and make it better, because once again we feel like we deserve it. We deserve it in Polk County. So if Polk Hoops can't do it, then who can? So anyway, thank y'all for tuning in tonight, man. Y'all be safe this week. Y'all enjoy your Columbus Day tomorrow. No school, right?
No school, but we got to work.
No school for the kids, but the grown-ups got to go to work. So sorry, grown-ups, but kids, y'all be safe, man. Like Coach Harris said, man, don't be somewhere doing something you ain't got no business. And then we got to have these life conversations with you. And that's real, Coach. Life is a part of sports now. More than we ever had before, more than we want to, admit it. So you got to talk about it. So anyway, man, y'all be safe this week, man. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. Till next time, Polk Hoops, we out.